I didn't buy land to flip it, I didn't buy it to build a development, and I sure as hell didn't buy it to join an HOA. I bought it because I wanted quiet. Years ago, I was done with cities telling me how high my grass could be done, with neighbors who measured their lives and complaints done with rules written by people who didn't own an inch of dirt themselves. So I did what a lot of men my age eventually do. I cashed out packed light and bought a piece of land far enough out that nobody cared what color my roof was. 20 acres, raw land, no HOA, no shared fences, no one close enough to hear me sneeze. Before I ever signed the paperwork, I checked everything. The deed, the survey, the parcel boundaries. I walked the perimeter myself with a GPS unit just to be sure. Old habits die hard. The land was clean outside any HOA jurisdiction properly recorded, with the county clear lines, no easements, no shared access. I didn't rush it. I fixed it up slowly, made it livable, made it mine. And when life pulled me away, family obligations work things that don't ask permission, I didn't abandon it. Before I left, I did 3 things. First, I set my property taxes to auto-pay. Every year, on time, no exceptions. Because land in this country isn't claimed by who shouts the loudest, it's claimed by paperwork receipts and patience. Second, I kept insurance active and my mailing address current. The county always knew where to find me. And third, more out of habit than paranoia, I installed 2 solar-powered trail cameras. No flashing lights, no visible mounts. Just quiet little units strapped high in the trees, watching the access points. When land sits empty, people get curious. And curiosity has a way of crossing lines. For 5 years, the land sat exactly the way I left it. To me, it wasn't vacant. It was waiting. So when I finally came back, when the dust on the road felt familiar again, when the horizon opened up the way it always had, I expected to unlock the door, sweep out some cobwebs, and settle back into the quiet I'd paid for. What I didn't expect was a house. A real one. Concrete foundation, fresh stucco, landscaping that hadn't existed before. A paved driveway cutting straight through what used to be open ground. And standing next to it was a woman looking at me like I was the intruder. I hadn't even turned off the engine yet when she spoke. "You can't park there." Her voice wasn't loud. It didn't need to be. It carried the kind of confidence that assumes agreement before it finishes the sentence. I stepped out of the truck, slowly took it all in. The same wind, the same wide sky, the same quiet except it wasn't quiet anymore. "I'm just stopping by my place," I said. She shook her head once like a teacher correcting a student. "No, you're not." I glanced back at the truck, then at the house, then at her. "This is my land." She smiled, not warmly, more like someone humoring a child. "This is Sun Mesa Estates," she said. "You're on HOA property." OA. I hadn't heard that acronym in years, and I hadn't missed it. "I think you're mistaken," I said. "This parcel isn't part of any HOA." She laughed softly. A practiced sound. "It is now." I pointed toward an old oak tree near the drive when I remembered because it leaned east and its roots were half exposed. "That tree," I said, "that's the eastern marker." She followed my finger, then shrugged. "The boundaries were updated while you were gone." "Updated how by who?" "The county," she said. "You must have missed the notices." I hadn't missed anything, but I didn't say that yet. "And the house?" I asked. "When was it built?" "About 3 years ago, right in the middle of my absence." "So someone built a permanent structure," I said slowly, "on land that wasn't theirs." She sighed like I was exhausting her. "You should talk to the HOA. This doesn't need to get complicated." I looked her straight in the eye. "It already is." She took off her sunglasses. That's when I saw it. Not confusion, not concern. Calculation. "My name is Karen Riggs," she said. "I'm the HOA president. If you plan on staying here, you'll need to follow community rules like everyone else." "I don't belong to your community." "Then you'll need to," she said, "or we'll address the violations." "Violations." She gestured vaguely toward my truck, toward the land, toward everything. "Unauthorized access, trespassing, non-compliance." I almost laughed. Instead, I asked the one question that mattered. "How much?" She named a number. Then another. Monthly dues, special assessments. And then the part she'd been waiting for. Back payments, 5 years. Plus penalties. I felt something tighten in my chest. I wasn't here. The obligation remains. "Ownership," she said, "is complicated. That was the moment I stopped giving her the benefit of the doubt. 3 days later, the letter arrived by certified mail. Official HOA letterhead. Official notice of violation. According to the letter, my property was now considered part of Sun Mesa Estates. According to the letter, I owed 5 years of dues plus fines. According to the letter, I had 30 days to comply. Attached was a map. At first glance, it looked legitimate. Parcel lines, lot numbers, scale bar. But the eastern boundary, my boundary, had shifted. Just enough. 30, maybe 40 feet, enough to make her house fit. I laid my original survey next to it. Their line crept inward. Mine didn't. That was when the doubt crept in. I sat at the table staring at both maps, and for the first time I wondered, what if I missed something? What if being gone that long really did give them an opening? What if this was my fault for trusting paperwork more than presence? I hated that feeling, the way it sat heavy in my chest, the way it made me question ground I'd walked myself. But doubt doesn't survive facts. County records showed my parcel unchanged. Tax records were clean. Permits for her house existed, but something was missing. No easement, no variance, no encroachment approval. I called a licensed surveyor I'd worked with years ago. Darren, the kind of man who doesn't guess. He showed up at sunrise, took one look at the house, and didn't say a word. We measured. We flew a drone. We overlaid county GIS data with current imagery. The line cut straight through her property. Not inches, not a foot. Hundreds of square feet. Part of her garage, her patio, a sunroom. Clear as day, Darren said. He drove a neon orange survey stake into the dirt right beside her flower bed. Each strike echoed. This shouldn't be here. That stake changed everything, because now the line wasn't abstract. And Karen didn't like that. The trash showed up first, dumped on my land overnight. 3 hours later, an HOA email fined me for sanitation violations. Camera footage showed a man dumping it. He told the sheriff, who paid him. Then came the threat about my dog. Not an approved breed, they said. Animal control might be contacted. That night I sat alone, staring at the ceiling, wondering if this was worth it. Wondering if it would be easier to sign the paperwork. Pay the money. Move the line in my head and pretend it never mattered. I felt small, tired, outnumbered. And then I checked the cameras again. There she was. Karen. On my land. On the phone. He doesn't even know she said. Just shift the layout like we planned. Another clip. Pull that orange stake out. Move the pins back. That wasn't confusion. That was intent. The sheriff opened a report. The county opened a review. The HOA started backing away. Court was quiet. Smaller than I expected. Karen cried, blamed contractors, blamed stress. Then the footage played. The judge didn't raise her voice. She didn't need to. Because when authority meets evidence, authority folds. Demolition order. Full removal of all encroaching structures. Restoration of the land. Karen made a sound I'll never forget. I didn't cheer. I didn't smile. I just breathed. Because the land didn't move. People did. And the truth always waits. Lesson? Paper matters. Boundaries matter. And silence only helps the people trying to erase both.